Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Today it's my pleasure to introduce George giving his speech, Starting Your Own Business. This is from the Specialty Speeches Manual, and it's the Speak Off the Cuff assignment. The objectives are to develop awareness of situations where you might be called on to deliver an impromptu speech, to understand how to prepare an impromptu speech, and to develop skills as a speaker using patterns to approach the topic. So a pattern could be comparing the past, the present, and the future, or before and after, for example. Time of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And to clarify, because this is an off-the-cuff speech, the assignment was George provided me 5 different topics he could speak on, and I've just picked starting your own business. George is a Toastmaster, has been for the last 3 years, and he's working on his gold designation at the moment. And he also owns his own company and has recently started a new online business, do-it-yourself vinyl fence company, where he sells digless fences where you don't dig any holes, you don't use concrete, and he ships you everything you need. Here to give his impromptu speech, Starting Your Own Business, please help me welcome George.
Thank you, Scott. Starting your own business. Isn't that sort of the American dream? The North American dream of come over here and strike it rich? Fellow Toastmasters, Madam Toastmasters. Today I just want to speak to you a few minutes about starting your own business. There's a lot of romance in starting your own business. You know, we hear stories of guys with wads of cash driving around with red Cadillacs, being able to give $10 bills to caddies. And we hear lots of shenanigans when it comes to all the lure about having your own business. But having your own business, while it's great, is also a lot of hard work. And today I would like to tell you a few things about having your own business. For sure, having your own business is great. You do have the financial freedom. You have the freedom with your time. And that's what we always see. However, most business people end up spending way too much time working, and they really don't have lots of cash because they're always putting it back in the business. So I want to give you a few tips about how to start your own business if you're thinking of it. First of all, pretty well every business has to do with sales. And most people don't like salespeople. We don't like telemarketers. When we walk up to the store, we don't like anybody trying to sell us on what TV we need. We don't like sales. So we tend to shy away from sales. On the other hand, we also don't like it when we go into the store and we want to ask a question, no one's around. The number one tool that everybody needs to learn is sales. If you're 16 years old, you got to learn how to sell your dad and why you need the car. When you're a baby in the crib, you have to learn how to sell your mom that you're hungry and you need to be fed. You need to sell your teacher on why you should be getting a good mark. Sales is a key to success in life, period. Not only in your own business, but just life in period. Everybody needs to learn how to sell. And I would really suggest that, especially with young people, that every young person should go into a job that they sell for at least 2 to 3 years. And commission on top of that. Now, the highest paid people in the world are salespeople. They get the most money. And usually the biggest problems they have is when they're making more money than their boss. So if you want to have your own business, you have to learn how to sell. But then you have to find a product to sell, and you need to believe in that product. Now, a lot of people, what they do is they get way too many expenses. You got to really try to keep your expenses down. And it's really easy to start renting this space, and it's really easy to get this furniture and all the things you need, and then next thing you know, you have no cash left. In order to run your own business, you need cash, and it's called cash flow. And most businesses go broke, not because they're losing money, it's because they run out of cash. So you want to make sure you have enough cash. And here's a good rule of thumb. If it's going to cost you $10,000, have at least 20. Have at least double what you think you need to start up your business. So if you have 10, don't invest 10, only invest 5. Because you're going to need to make sure that you have some reserves so you don't run out of cash when something comes up. Another thing I would say about business is what you really want to do is you want to try and outsource. And that kind of goes against keeping your expenses down. You can't do everything yourself. So like with my business, I have several online businesses, and I hire somebody to answer the phone. And it actually, per phone call, it's way too expensive. However, I cannot be tied up trying to answer the phone. If that was true, I wouldn't be here today. I need the freedom to be able to expand and do other things. Plus, at my one business with programming, I can make way more per hour than it costs me to hire somebody. So I outsource as much as I can. I am doing this new website. I outsourced it. I found a company that would build me a website for $1,500. I'm very capable of doing it. I outsourced it. I also fired my assistant that's using the phones, and now I'm getting another person because it wasn't really meeting my objectives. So first of all, you got to find a product to sell. Second of all, you have to find a market to sell to. You have to have customers. Then what you need to do is you need to try to set up a system so that you can run the business and you can have other people do it for you. 90% of businesses that have systems do not fail. And those are the ones that most of us know. They're called McDonald's, they're called Burger King, they're called franchises. Franchises, they're the ones that make the money. However, there's a couple problems with franchises. One is it's very, very, very expensive. To get into something like Subway, it will cost you over $1 million. Those companies will have like $250,000, $500,000 fee right up front. You just pay them out. Okay, now you can be the business. Then you have to get the building. Then you have to get the equipment. And I see way too many businesses fail because of all the cash that they need. So a franchise is one of your best ways to have a business. However, most franchise, really, you're not having your own business. All you did was buy yourself a job. So if you want, because like McDonald's, for example, they say, okay, you have to work at least 35 hours a week at the store. You can't just buy McDonald's and let it run itself. You have to physically be there yourself. So really, because you're there, it's a job. And when you're there with it doing a job, if it's your own business or not, that's what you're trying to get away from. Now, 90% of businesses that don't go franchise are broke within the first 5 years. So you need to be really careful, and you really need to think that through. Because we only think of the stories of, like I said, with the guys that are paying caddies $10 an hour. We don't think of all the other 900 people that have tried and really aren't being able to do that. Having your own business is great, and if you want to do that, remember this. You got to learn how to sell, you got to know how to work hard, and you got to have fun doing it. Otherwise, you're going to hate it and you're going to quit. And you can have some great things. Thank you for your time. I want to inspire you to really think about having your own business and really start using some methods about, like, I've heard something about the law of attraction. What can I sell? What kind of business opportunities do I have? And if you do that and keep these principles in mind, you can have your own business too.